So the radon system has been activated and it's been working for the past couple of weeks. It's just here in this mechanical room next to the hot water heater. Turn that light on. So we got it sealed and caulked in there, and then this is a 4-inch Schedule 40 PVC pipe. And it goes up into the dead space between the walls by the garage. So it's the furnace kicking on. It's a cold day outside. It's February. But it's just there in the mechanical room. And then out here, in another part of our basement, we've got the sensor. So this is our EcoCube EcoSense sensor, and you can see it's green light, which means it's low levels of radon right now. And it's been green light ever since a few hours after I installed the radon system. The radon levels have gone down from an average of about 4.5 down to an average of about 1 or less. Sometimes it's 0.07 or 0.08 or 1.2, so it's kind of hovered around a level of only 1. Which is really good for radon that's really low. And the sensor is kind of in the other corner of the basement here. So the radon pipe is right back there. It's kind of centrally located, but on one side of the basement. So I think we're getting a big enough pressure field extension. So something in radon you want to make sure is working is that your suction point is drawing radon from other areas of your basement, which I think it is. It's drawing it in clear. So the radon levels over there are really low, and it's sucking air underneath the slab clear across the basement over into here where the radon suction point is, which is good. That means it's getting pressure field extension clear over to that side of the basement on the opposite side of the house. And so the levels have dropped of radon from, like I said, an average of 4.5, and sometimes we'd have spikes of radon as high as 10 or 15. So it's good to see that the radon levels drop to an average of 1 and hover around 1 really low, and I don't see large spikes in radon anymore. So we'll go upstairs and I'll show you the other, let me turn the lights off. I go upstairs and see the other areas where the radon system is going through. Give you kind of a final tour here. This is the dead space in the garage right above the furnace room in the basement. And kind of, you can see I sealed it in with fireproofing caulk, and we had to do 2 45-degree angles in this closet to get it in the right position to go up into the attic. You can see up there it goes clear up and goes through the floor of the second level. So this is the main level we're on here. And just this 4-inch Schedule 40 PVC pipe does 2 40-degree angles and then goes up into the upper level here. So this is in our garage. Note here that if you're trying to run a radon system in your house, you don't always have to put the pipe inside your house. A lot of times radon contractors will run this 4-inch PVC pipe on the outside of your house if you can find a place where it's not very conspicuous. If you can run it on the side of your house, it does have to vent above your roof line though, so it has to go up above your house and vent above the roof line. So I wanted to keep it inside the house so I could keep it hidden, even though this one is in a closet. It's better to be here than on the outside of the house because we're inside a closet, so I don't really care if it's just running through even the part of the closet here. So if you have a home where it's very difficult to run it through the inside of the house, you don't have a closet like this or a space that you can run it through. Like I was lucky I had a dead space on the main level, so it's totally hidden, and then up here on the upper level it's in this closet. If you can do that to where it's hidden, then great. I like that idea of not having it on the outside of the house. But if it's the only option to put it on the outside of the house, it's better to do that than to have your family be breathing the radioactive radon gas. So anyway, I just thought I'd mention that you can also run it on the outside of your house if you need to. And so it's been running for a couple weeks now, and our radon levels have dropped quite a bit, which has been awesome to see. That's been relieving to see that it worked. With all the work that I put into it, it's working great. And I don't even have it vented into the roof yet. Right now it's just venting into the attic right next to a roof vent. In the spring when it warms up and there's not snow on the roof, in a month or two here, I'm going to connect this up through the roof to vent outside the house, and you have to bring it up. I think it's 18 inches or something above the house. I have to look up that regulation again, see what the requirement is for how high you have to vent it above the roof line. So this is the upper floor. Hanging to see what kind of results we're gonna get. It's February, it's early February right now. There's still snow on my roof, so I'm gonna vent it in the spring, probably in the month of, I don't know, March or April, when I can get on the roof. But I've got it coming out of the fan and venting close to a vent right there that goes out the roof. So hoping most of the radon will go up and out that way. If a little bit of it hangs out here in the attic, that's all right. It still will be hopefully better than where it has been. I am testing, I have a constant monitoring of the radon in both the upstairs and the basement of my house, so I'll be able to tell if it makes the levels spike by being here in the attic. And let me up here show you, we've got another radon detector. This is an older radon detector here, and you can see the long-term average. See, it's highlighted on the L here, just means that's the long-term average is 4.5. This one takes longer to update. So this is the long-term average of what radon levels have been for the whole time this thing has been plugged in, which this has been plugged in for months and months. So the average for this past 6 months or so is 4.5, but if I push this button, it will go to show us the S for short-term radon levels. And you can see the short-term radon levels up here are 2.6. So this one up here has been steadily dropping as well, and eventually the long-term one will be lower. And probably when I vent the radon pipe through the roof, it will help even more, so there's not radon. There might be a little bit of radon leaking back into the house through the attic, because we're just venting it into the attic right now. But still, the levels up here and in the basement are much lower than they were before. I'll show you the chart. Of where the radon levels are. So it's exciting to see the short-term radon level go down to 2.6. It was just a few weeks ago when I'd push this button, it'd go from 4.5 to like 4.1 or something. So the short-term and the long-term were about the same just a few weeks ago, but now, after a couple weeks of running the radon vent fan, it's dropped to 2.6 as the short-term average, and eventually this 4.5 will drop as well. So, and 4.5 is not that high of a level. It says anything above 4 you're supposed to fix. So ours was just kind of right above the level of where you're supposed to fix. It wasn't super high, so it wasn't urgent for me to get this done, but I just wanted to have healthier air to breathe inside my house. And sometimes we'd see spikes on the other detector that shows more granular data. It would show us spikes of around 15 or 10, so it was worth fixing to get rid of those spikes in radon and also decrease the overall average over time. So our overall house average from the basement detector for over the past year has been in the neighborhood of 4.5, kind of like this one shows. So they were both consistent as far as showing the same amount of radon. But anyway, now it's good to have it lowered. So we'll show you some charts on how that looks.